Agency, future of education. Today, I'd like to talk about the topic of agency, the keyword that will lead us to the future of education. A week ago, I came across a paper released by the OECD. It said, we are facing unprecedented challenges driven by accelerating globalization and a faster rate of technological development. And more, to navigate through uncertainty, students will need to develop curiosity, imagination, resilience, and self regulation. And finally, education can equip learners with agency and a sense of purpose, and the competencies we need. This word, agency, just didn't leave my head. It's actually been called the word of the 21st century by a famous professor in advertising. So, what is agency exactly? Let's figure out through this short video.
Then, and this one was quite difficult to get printed in London without t-shirts and plastics, is high agency. High agency in a moment. So again, for the people listening, you have a series of Nazis saluting to Hitler in 1936, and you have this guy in red here, who's believed, there's debate who it is, but he's believed to be a guy called August Landmasser. And what I love about his story was
So don't be misunderstood. Agency doesn't mean to be just resistant to the majority, but its definition is the ability to frame guiding purpose and identifying actions to achieve that purpose. Yeah, but still vague. So, to understand more about agency, let's watch one more video where we can find one kid that has a crazily high agency and the result of pursuing his own purpose.
He one day is kind of sat there, his dad's recovering from all these surgeries, and he says to his dad, how do people get rich? And his dad just replies, I imagine at the time, on so much medication and just trying to keep his kid busy. He goes, I don't know, because they're a poor family. He goes, maybe go and watch some Warren Buffett videos on YouTube. So 6-year-old goes and starts watching Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger videos on YouTube, consumes everything about Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger, understands like Munger's iron laws of prescription, starts learning everything about business and compound interest, all but for himself on YouTube. Then at the age of 7, just goes, well, I'll just start my first company. 7-year-old starts his first company, selling rabbits to the local restaurants, gets it up to $1,000 in monthly recurring revenue.
So, what this small kid did, he set a purpose to become a rich. Then he identified his action. Watch every Warren Buffett video out there. Eventually, he became what? Rich. Yeah, agency may lead people to success. But it's a bit sad, it's not what we learn from school. Actually, the opposite. It's school who set us goal and action, do assignments, an action. They say do assignment with assign and get a high goal, high grade. Maybe through this process, we're slowly losing our agency, the natural gift. Then drop out of school? I'm not sure. But let's not give up. What do? How do we reconnect with our agency and apply it into our own education? Let's look at the last video from Elon Musk, arguably the figure with the highest agency these days.
If you think like what is education, like you're basically downloading data and algorithms into your brain, and it's actually amazingly bad in conventional education because like it shouldn't be like this huge chore. Like the more you can gamify the process of learning, the better. Like for my kids, I do not have to encourage them to play video games.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I have to like pry them from their hands, like
Yeah.
crack.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
It's like drop that crack needle. In fact, I think a lot of things people learn probably there's no point in learning them because they never use them in the future. Well, you have to say like feel.
The key is simple. First, personalization. Second, gamification. Grab something that you naturally feel drawn to. Do it like you're playing a game. Go autopilot. But how? Maybe it's up to you. But let me show you a simple tip. Coursera. There are a lot of courses out here, and you can learn whatever and whenever you want, unlike the schools. You see your progress in numbers, and if you finish, you even get a certification. Honestly, if I didn't come to school, I probably would have done this instead of taking 3 hours mandatory sitting classes. So, for most of us, to conclude, for most of us, life is happening to us. We get tons of assignments we never chose. And later, we might be doomed to take on projects just because a company had paid us to do. But people with high agency, they are happening to life. They give assignments to themselves. So if you feel stuck, like life is just happening to you, maybe it's time to stop for a moment and start fostering your agency. I really believe that is what would eventually lead you to success and happiness. Thank you so much.